everyone, welcome to my channel today. So today I'll be talking about parenting teens in style, as in different dimensions of parenting. You know, I am Nello, a mother of three, 16, 6 and 6 months old. Sometimes you discover that in parenting, especially the teenagers, you think you already know them and you know how to move way around them, but you discover that a lot of things that are growing in every day. They're discovering new things about themselves, and these new things they discover about themselves makes them to switch mood, make changes and all that. In parenting, there's no perfect time for parenting. You don't say, oh, let me wait till I am made before I start having my children. Because no, there's no timing for that. You discover that when you excel in one area, another thing rises up and you have to keep pushing and keep excelling. So there is no perfect time in raising up children. If you really need to raise up children, if you want to have children, there, get it going. And if you do not want it, then let's just have it in your at the back of your mind that you are not in for this and you are good to go. So the bottom line, what I'm saying here is that parenting comes with its own ups and downs. No parenting is perfect and no parenting is out in line. All we do in parenting is in line with how God has created us to do what we do. As long as you're doing it the right thing, you know as a parent what you're doing is right or wrong. Now, in parenting teens, especially when it comes to correction or correcting them or training them, let me put it that way, you discover that when you call your teen, for instance, you just speak to them anyhow, you discover how they feel, how they act, how they react. But when there is love in correction, you find balance in between them. You find that the teens most especially from ages 13 to 19. In fact, once your teenager is up to 20 years and is still not in shape, my dear, you need extra prayers. Because as from 13 to 19, this are a period where you need to shape on your teenager. You need to adjust if there's anything that you see that needs to be worked on. You speak with that child, you speak with that teenager with love. You do not make claims and accuses on them. You have to call your teenager with love. If you, for instance, practically what I do is I'll just tell my teenager, oh, come, let's go for a ride, and he's excited. And then when I go for that ride with him, we talk. I just, open the floor. I do not say, oh, there's something I need you to do. I need to correct you and all that. I make it so, let's say, formal, and they tend to see it in another way around. As a parent, you have to also lead by example. In other words, when you say, for instance, our teens of our current timing, you discover that they also know the what's it called? I think they are more knowledgeable. Let me use that word. I mean, because of AI and because of the internet and all that, they are vast. So they see more things than we think. In the area, for instance, like your device, you might not know how to operate it. These children would do wonders with it for you. So in the essence of in that area of correction, in that area of training a teenager, it is best bet that you yourself as a parent, you drop your phone. when you're talking with them, if you want them to do some certain things, because most times these children, they learn from us. Yes, as their parents, they learn by our examples. We set the pace for them and they follow. you know you also, as a parent, you should check yourself. You are talking to your teenager and you're pressing your phone, so you ought to be there. You ought to be there with them, speak with them, and also understand them. And also, sometimes as a parent, we drop on their what is it called, their affair. We want to know what's up with them, what is happening, without their consent. you know which, at the end of the day, it backfires. Most times it does. So there are ways to cajole, there are ways to speak with your teenager with love. There are ways to correct your teenagers with love. You find that balance, you find those ways. You find those ways that when you correct them with love and when you train them with love, you discover, in fact, you will see changes within 2 to 3 weeks. Because by the time you do it in a way that's like, I, for instance, I'm a Nigerian, so I know where I'm coming from. If I correct my teenager the way my parents corrected me or trained me while I was growing up, I tell you, I would see the opposite, how do I put it, the opposite side of them. What I would see, the result I would see, I wouldn't like it. The result I would say, I wouldn't like it. In the area of that eardropping, there is no how. Certainly you will hear things, what conversation with friends that your teenage is having, that is, if it's not just text messages, conversation with friends, you will hear gossips and all that. As a parent, you listen, you can listen, that is part of eardropping. You can actually listen, but do not confront. You only confront when the child comes in, when the teenager comes in and asks for your opinion, or if you have a better way to in a good setting, that is, in a good timing, you speak to your child concerning this. Know how you present what you have heard. And also, it really matters when you speak with these children with love. That is why I keep emphasizing the word love here, because if there is calmness, if you speak with them from the space of you imagine your life, you tell them stories of yourself, how imperfect you were and how perfect, exactly how perfect you were and how imperfect, mistakes you you explain to them, and then when you share your life with them, you discover that they open up to you. Yes, they do. These are the what I message I have for today. So we're going to continue on this same topic next time. See you, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.